ReelPitch synopsis: Chester Morgan and Historical Fiction by William L. Simonson. The recurring theme is that evil can be taught. It can also be untaught. Goodness dwells in everyone. Here are some historical facts to prove it. 1820. Chester Morgan, a fictional character, is born in Jamaica to a slave woman and a plantation owner. Both of them are descendants of Henry Morgan the pirate. 1830. Chester's mother, head of the household, is taught to read and write, which she teaches Chester. Later, they are sold and shipped to Morgan family plantation in Virginia. James Morgan, the son of the elderly Virginia plantation owner, and Chester Morgan become playmates, fast friends, and later jointly in charge of running the plantation. This is a closely guarded secret. 1859. The Civil War is brewing. Chester's mother dies. James' father frees all of his slaves, including Chester, sells the plantation, and moves north. James and Chester, both wealthy now, head for New Orleans. 1860. In New Orleans, they meet Hiram Lloyd, captain and owner of the Argosy Traveler, a former slave ship. Factually, another slave ship captain repented and wrote the song Amazing Grace. Captain Lloyd asks Chester how to be forgiven for his sins. Chester says, "God has already forgiven you. I can do no less." Chester, James, and the captain decide to load the ship with fabric and sail around the Horn, South America, to San Francisco. Factually, a Christian revival swept over the Caribbean, the United States, and Europe starting around 1858. Churches were packed to overflowing. The ship leaves New Orleans and stops at Jamaica, which, factually, abolished slavery in 1838, 8 years after Chester left. Chester meets his old slave driver on his deathbed. The man is delirious. Chester says, "God forgives you, I forgive you. Now forgive yourself." The man smiles and dies. Once in San Francisco, they sell their fabric on the dock and refit the ship for passengers heading west. One passenger is Paua from Fiji. He has just come from a visit to his brothers, the Chumash Indians of the Central California coast, and now he is headed home. Factually, the Polynesians visited North America and South America before European explorers. Traditional Chumash boats are duplicates of traditional boats of the Polynesian islands. Magellan, in fact, wrote that the Polynesians were great intuitive navigators. They could predict the weather. With no modern equipment, Polynesians navigated the Pacific Ocean for centuries. The Chumash had given a boat to Paua as a gift. They loaded on the Argosy Traveler and set sail for Hawaii. Shortly, Paua warns of a storm. No one sees it, but they trust Paua. Paua pilots Chester and some of the crew due south behind the hurricane, then west to Fiji. In his Chumash boat, James and Captain Lloyd and the Argosy Traveler head north, then southwest toward Hawaii, as suggested by Paua. Chester, safely in Fiji, feels at home and falls in love with La'ila. A storm arises. Paua is killed trying to save a little boy lost at sea. Chester grabs the boy and swims toward the shore. The islanders rescue Chester and the boy from the surf just in time. Chester is a hero. Paua visits Chester in a dream and thanks him for saving the boy. With Paua gone, the newly selected navigator takes Chester and La'ila in a large boat north to Hawaii. They find James and the captain. James, Captain Lloyd, and the Argosy Traveler head west, while Chester and the islanders head southwest back to Fiji into the sunset.